Vlog. I know I actually, not even all that long ago, maybe an hour ago, I made a vlog, but then, I sat down at my computer and I got to thinking, and I guess I actually kind of had some thoughts I wanted to unhash, and this is probably going to be less of a ramble and more of a serious post, and if I can, I would like to take this chance to kind of unzip myself and let some of the things in my soul come out. We'll see if that actually happens or not. As you guys have picked up by now, I'm not always the most eloquent speaker. I actually really struggle with that. It took me years to learn how to make eye contact, and I started writing because I could never actually make the words come out correctly in talking form. And there's me now, and I guess I'm still working on it, and I'm starting to do better. I've actually been told that when I speak, if I'm in the zone, I can be perfectly eloquent. It just often takes me a while to get in that zone. Anyway, I guess the big thing I wanted to talk about is a subject that's really close to my heart and very emotionally rooted. So we'll see how well I can talk about this. But I wanted to talk about what it's like to live with someone and love them and care about them in the aftermath of their suicide attempt. Or what it's like to live with someone who's severely depressed. Because that's not something that I'm not sure I'd ever known how to experience, or ever even thought I would have to experience until I was thrust into it. As someone who has struggled with depression their entire life, and who has struggled with suicidal tendencies their entire life, and who has struggled with very severe and negative consequences to my mental illness, I understand more than anyone exactly how it feels to be on the opposite end of the spectrum, to be the person feeling those things and doing those things and having to rely on others to love you anyway. But I don't think I ever really understood what it's like to be the one who has to give the loving anyway, and it's been a really interesting and difficult journey. In April, Miles attempted suicide twice. The first time was, they were both in the same week, actually, or at least the same 2 weeks, I don't know. It was close to the end. The first time was mid-April. The second time was on my 21st birthday. It's funny because there's all these pictures of me laughing and smiling because that was before it happened, and then it ended up being a really traumatic day for me. I spent the entire day, I got home really late at night that night, completely drunk because it was my 21st birthday, and Miles was just bad, and it ended up, I was the one who rushed him to the hospital both times. The first time it was just me in the car, the second time I was the one who had to go wake my mom and dad up, and he tried to overdose. I spent both of those nights in the hospital the whole night, and things haven't been normal since. It's been, honest to God, the hardest experience of my whole life. And as I'm sure you guys know, I've been through a hell of a lot in my life. I'm a survivor of a lot of different things, but learning to love somebody and be their friend and learning how to be there for them after that is harder than I ever realized it would, and it breaks my heart on a regular basis that I've put people through that before. I guess what's bringing this up is Miles moved back out yesterday, technically, and, he's going back to college. He's going to be living in a house with some of his friends, and he's been at home ever since, he got really bad. So I'm in the middle of, getting really scared because I never was able to grasp, how to stop walking on eggshells because of it. Because that's the thing, you don't realize how many little things there are that, all of a sudden, you notice everything. Like, I don't remember the last time, you know, I wake up and I glance at him, I glance over his body to see if there's any new marks. Like, it's the first thing. It's just automatic at this point. You know, you don't normally have to think about, like, oh, wait, that razor isn't where I left it. Like, you know, normally it would be like, oh, you know, like, I probably just left it in a weird place. Or I'm forgetful, I probably just left it there. But there's always the thought, like, oh, did Miles use it? And that's horrifying. It's horrifying to wake up every single day and not know if he's going to be okay or not. It's horrible to have to deal with him pushing me away because I have to be there for. You don't know how to be there. It's a big learning process. I just remember this one day. It was after it happened, and he went to go on a walk. You know, just took off. He was angry. I didn't know anything, and he was still on suicide watch. So I followed him, and you know, I just remember him, like, yelling about how much he hated me and how he was never going to talk to me again. And he hit me, like, left a bruise across my cheek, this from his hand, like, and my brother's really strong. And, you know, those are things, like, it's really hard to forget. I just remember, like, collapsing on my driveway and just sobbing for hours because I couldn't anymore. And I'm still learning how to live with that. You know, he is doing better. I think we finally got his medications a little bit more stabilized. But our relationship isn't what it was before all of this. And I know that someday down the road he's going to thank me. But someone had to be there. It's not time for... He hasn't thanked me yet. You know, like, he's still kind of in the phase where, like, he doesn't really know how to act around me. And I have trouble because I've always been, like, the one in the family who had the problems. And all of a sudden, you know, it's not me. All of a sudden, he's the one who's needs worried about. And I still need worried about. And it's not nice to have to censor myself and make sure that I don't project my problems on him too much. Or, I don't know, it's really hard to have multiple people in the same house with mental illness. It's hard. All of it's hard. What I don't think anyone really tells you is how angry you can get after that happens. Even when you don't want to be angry. You do get angry. You're angry at them for being so selfish. You're angry at them for not coming to you for help instead. And it's, you know, it's not them. Like, you don't want to be angry at them because you know the last thing they need is anyone to get angry at them. But you have to learn how to, like, hold that anger in and not let it show, because even though you feel that way, you can't let them know that you feel that way because that'll just make them worse. But it's really fucking difficult to not get angry. And you have to learn how to watch them without, you know, getting too involved in their life or anything. And there's so many different things that you just have to learn how to do, and it's not something I'd learned until this year, and it's a really big struggle, and it's hard every single day. And I think it's extra hard because I know that I stop, and I realize that that's something that I've put people through before, and I hate myself for that. Because no one... I never wanted to hurt anyone. Just as Miles never wanted to hurt anyone, and no one who does that is ever thinking, oh, I'm going to do this despite at someone else, or I want to hurt this person, or I want to show this person. No, it's something completely internal. But when you end up, like, on the outside of the situation, it does hurt. And you realize, like, whether you want it to hurt or not, it does. And I don't like knowing that I've put the people that I love through that situation before. I'm very grateful to have people who love me, despite my problems. I'm very grateful that my brother is still here. I'm grateful that even if it meant giving up our relationship the way I understood it before, that it doesn't matter, because if I hadn't done what I did, he wouldn't be here. And I think that there's a lot to be said for that. It's not that I don't love my brother, it's that I love him so much I couldn't handle losing him. And I would rather know that he's alive, that he's gonna get better sometime, than have just turned my cheek. You're probably never gonna meet anyone who loves their brother as much as I do. I guess that's kind of what it comes down to at the end of the day, is it's hard to keep living. It's hard to not give up. It's hard to know when to intervene. It's hard to keep loving someone in the aftermath of something like this. It's hard to let yourself be loved in the aftermath. But no matter what happens, like, you're here, you're alive, and you survived. And no matter what horrible emotions or what demons you have to fight, or those you love have to fight, love is stronger than it's ever going to be. And if there's any message I want my life to resonate, or any message that I want to resonate from my life, or any message that I want to pass on, it's that love is stronger and louder and more powerful than anything else can be, even depression, even suicidal thoughts, even all of the pain and heartbreak and terrible things that come from it. Love's still going to overcome it, and you're never going to meet anyone who loves harder than I do, and I love my brother more than anything. I guess that's the message. That's what it comes down to. And even though it's difficult, and even though every day is hell sometimes, I'm probably never gonna stop saying thank you that he's here and he's alive. On that note, I'm gonna peace out. If you listen, thanks for listening. Bye, guys.